So another thing, I don't know if anybody out there noticed, is that I went ahead and stripped the whole car down so we can paint the green. We got to paint all the green on this car. And then down here, you can't see that. There's a big giant dent right here in this fender that we got to fix. And what I'll probably do is paint all the green paint, and then I'll wet sand all the white. I'll wet sand that, and then we'll go ahead and clear coat the whole car. There's no sense clearing just the green and not doing the white with it. So we got a lot of blending to do. Remember that. It's all about blending. Blending. That's what we're doing here, is blending and sanding and blending and sanding. Big job. That was a very, very extreme repair right there. Very extreme.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Today's the day. We're going to go ahead and paint the Volkswagen Maxwell 1964 Bug. Let's go in there and check it out and see what we got. So if we walk down the aisle, we can see we got my heater going. Now the reason I got the heater going is the heat will be sucked through the paint booth, and then it'll keep the paint booth nice and warm. So that's usually what I do on semi-cold days. And then we come in the paint booth, and it's getting kind of loud, so I got to talk loud, so keep up with me here. But what we got the whole car taped off. Minnie did an awesome job. The roof is fixed, you can see that. And we're getting ready to paint all the green. Now before I put any green paint on it, and you can see where I taped off the white, we're not going to paint the white, but when I clear coat the car, we'll clear coat the whole car. And before I put any paint on it, what I'll do is I am going to put a coat of sealer on 99% of the green. Now the reason I'm doing that is I don't want any blistering or bleed back from the old paint. Now this car was stripped down to bare metal when I restored it. So this is the only paint on the car. So I don't think we're gonna have any problems. We had a problem right here, and then we had an issue in this area here, and then I believe this piece right here was messed up, and that's what basically led us into painting the whole car. We also see Minnie, the body shop girl, out here. Let's get a word with her and see what she's got to say about the situation. Well, are we ready? Alright, we're going to get the sealer on first. I already got it mixed up. Once we get the sealer on, we put the paint on, we're going to rip the white paper off, we're going to clear coat it, and then comes the job that you hate, color sand and buffing. But we'll have to wait 2 to 3 days before we do that. Hopefully we'll have this color sand buff before we go to Moab next week.
Hopefully, yes.
I want to get this thing done and down the road, because look what we got. What?
Me too.
Look what we got over here. We got fun. F-U-N.
It looks like a coat rack right now.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. It's turning into a coat rack. We need to get out on the road and do some mudding. Minnie the Body Shop girl says that we shouldn't film anymore when we move to Moab, Utah.
That's right. I think it should be done and over. We're done.
I'll let them make that mind up. If they say we don't want any more, then fuck it, we won't make any more. But right now, we're not talking about that. We got something in the paint booth. What?
I'm following you in the paint booth.
But you almost ran into me and made, look what you did.
You fucking did it. I didn't do a motherfucking thing.
When you come in here, shut the door. We don't want no trash flying in. Okay, so. Okay, what we got here is a Volkswagen that's been painted. Now, if everybody remembers, we fixed the top on the roof. That looks great. Minnie took 3 days. How many days did it take you?
A long time. 4
Like what?
weeks.
How long did it take you?
27
How long did it take to
hours.
tape it off?
14 hours, 15 days, and 72 minutes.
It took a long time. A little longer than usual on a little car like this.
I know, because I was busy doing other things in between.
Yeah. So, what we got is that we only painted the green. Now, the reason we painted the whole car green is we really didn't have any paint left over, and you kind of saw that if we did have paint left over, it probably wouldn't match anyway. So, we didn't paint the white, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take all the paper off of the white. And Minnie says that she taped this car up where it should, come right off. You kind of did a special design tape job on it where it's just a one full action. Now we got to be really careful because we don't want to touch the green paint as we pull it off.
Exactly, so pay attention to what you're doing. You just almost let that fall right in there. Oh!
But what's really good about the whole deal is the car is painted, and you can see where we got to wipe that off. Minnie didn't wipe it off. Look,
I think you gotta wipe it off.
you didn't wax and grease it.
No, I didn't wax and grease it. It was already taped off. How could I wax and grease it?
The owner knows that we had to paint the whole car, and she was happy with that because there were some mistakes on it anyway that we had to clear up. So I think she's going to come out with a really, really nice paint job when it's all done. What are you thinking,
Yeah,
Minnie?
I think it's gonna come out really nice.
So what you're looking at here, the white paint is actually paint that we painted, how many years ago was that?
A long time ago.
About 12 or 13, huh?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, one more thing about this car that I want to go over with everybody. We got to get a screwdriver to get that out. I can't get that tape out of there. It's got to come out. One more thing I want to go over with now. I used PPG clear on this when I first did it, so it really, really held up good. But this round, we're actually going to use a nude clear, and I'm going to show you that when we go outside. So if Minnie did this right, yes, she did. Look at that. Wow! Look at that.
Thank you, Jesus.
And then what we can do is you can see where she taped that off, and she didn't want to tape this off. She said, I don't need to tape that off. I'm going to put a piece of tape here, but what about the overspread that's going to go in there? So when you're doing this type of two-tone job, it's always important to tape everything off that is the second color to ensure yourself. And then we're going to go ahead and pull that off. Uh-oh, there's another piece of tape. You need a screwdriver to get it off.
Damn it.
What happened?
That fucking piece of tape there. I'll get it.
No, that's not tape. What is this, a rock chipper?
I didn't know what that was.
Huh, it's like dirt or something. It's mud, Minnie. Are you sanding mud?
I didn't sand that fucking enough.
No, you didn't sand that mud off, did you?
No, because I didn't think it was mud. I thought it was
All right, that sounds great.
rusted.
All right, so we got the top fixed. 3 to 4 days. Let me show you why. I'm going to go ahead and use this clear right here. Now this is a clear that I've been doing some investigation on. It's called Roberlo Superior 150HS. We're going to see how this works out. It's a European clear. I believe European. I mean, let's go ahead and turn it over. We really don't know what kind it is. I mean, look, here's Arabic, Chinese, and other natures of, I mean, what is this one? We don't know. Anyway, so this is a foreign clear. We'll just call it the foreign clear. And I've heard a lot of good stuff about this, so make sure you check that video out because we're going to make a review video on this. But I'm going to go ahead and get the clear on it, and then we're going to have to wait. Using this clear here, we're going to have to wait probably 4 days before we color sand above because this stuff dries super slow. This is a very, very high solids clear. And to shoot this clear, it requires that you use 10 to 20% reducer with it. Whereas when you use this clear or other clears that are on the market, it doesn't require any reducer at all. So when you have to use a reducer with a clear, that means that this stuff is super thick. It's like syrup. And by using the reducer will help it flash dry faster. Another thing about high solids clear versus medium solids is if you know how to use these clears properly, the reason it takes so long to dry, they're designed to dry slow so it doesn't shrink. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, and if you keep your car in a clean environment, like over here, Minnie, in a paint booth that's not going to get dust and trash and everything inside it, sometimes using a high solids clear you can get away without buffing it. Now, 9 out of 10 times I have to buff everything.
That's
so
fact.
I'm planning on buffing this car, but we're still going to use the high solids. Another reason I'm going with this clear is because this clear is designed for harsh environments.
And we got some harsh weather up there in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, there's a lot of harsh weather. You got freezing cold, then you got hot, then you got a lot of humidity. You got salt.
Seawater.
You got
salt.
seawater, salt in the air. So this is designed for a harsh weather paint job. So let me get the clear on it. We're going to come back. Make sure you watch this video here. And hopefully this stuff's going to turn out to be a good product. And once again, it's called Roberlo. But
and let's hope that it doesn't prove to...
What is that? Prove to what? What did you do that for?
Well, because it could
It says Dick Rom on there.
Yeah,
what does that mean? Okay, but you pointed to Dick Rom.
I know.
Okay, what is that?
Because I don't know, because Dick, it could be a bad product.
We gotta go. We'll be back after it's all done and cleared.
Cut that part
The
out.
top is now done. We're in the final stages of fixing our 1964 Maxwell bug. I don't know what Minnie's situation is with the word Dick Rom over here.
Well, it's a brand new paint. It's a brand new
Okay, but
product.
you didn't point to the name. You pointed to Dick
I
Rom.
know. Will you let me finish talking?
What's up with that?
It's a brand new product, right?
Yeah.
You ain't never used it before.
Okay, are you talking?
It
Hold
doesn't make
on.
it look like a dick because it's new.
Okay, hold on a minute. You can't talk with your hands.
Why
Okay,
not?
that's my deal, not yours.
It couldn't make you look like a dick because it doesn't come out good. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I gotta go back to work. We're gonna do a walk around when it's all done. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Turn the microphone around.
Shit.
Turn the microphone.
No, I'm not fucking gonna talk.
Commentate and tell people what we're doing.
It's obvious, unless they're a dumbass.
Kill them.
Yeah. For all y'all that don't know out there, Pete's gonna quit filming. Did y'all know that? Everybody to vote out there. Pete's got like 15 years hours of footage. So he doesn't really even need to film anymore. So let's all vote that we do no more filming when we move to Moab. Y'all got that? Let's vote. Okay, now what we're here for, Pete is putting on the last coat of clear on the Volkswagen. So, here we go. Keep y'all's fingers crossed. If there's loud cussing, that means something bad happened. And obviously I'm standing outside of the paint booth because with the last coat he doesn't want to take a chance of, you know, things happening. Oops. Like that happening. So as he told y'all earlier, he's using a new clear. And so far, he hasn't had anything bad to say, so it sounds like, hopefully, with no sound from Pete, things are going well. And it looks like it's laying on really good. So for anybody that doesn't know, this is little Maxwell. This little 64 bug used to belong to Pete. He built her a long time ago, and he lived in our garage with the light on for years. Pete says he drove him all the time, but he really didn't. He sat in the garage most of the time, all by himself, lonely, crying, wishing someone would drive him. Anyhow, Pete sold little Maxwell to a really nice lady up in Yankeeville, and a tree fell on him and damn near crushed him in. But Pete got him all fixed up, and we're getting him a new fresh coat of paint, and he's gonna be back to 110%. Oh, and just a little tip too, I just thought of this. This is actually, Maxwell is actually going to be probably the second to the last car ever painted by Pete in this paint booth in this location. Alright, as you can tell, Pete's loading back up. And yes, always strain your paint and your clear. The reason he's putting a glove on this time is because there's 3 little parts that are hanging up on the line. I saw him. Did you see him? Did you see him? He shot the finger at me. I saw that. That are hanging up on the line. That are hanging up on the line. Did y'all see that? I saw that. That are hanging up on the line. He put the glove on his hand because see those paint parts hanging right there? He doesn't want to get paint all over his hand. Well, clear, I guess I should say. Interested, Pete's using an old school Binks No. 7 gun. It's a siphoning gun. It's not an HVLP. But he loves that gun, and that's what he's used to, and that's what he uses. It's like anything else. You get used to something, you don't want to change. Oh my God! Watch out! Watch out! Whew. Little kids, don't look! Don't look! Oh, and just to let y'all know too, as you can see, this little car is round. It's just like a big beach ball. And believe it or not, round cars like this are much, much harder to paint. Pete hates painting cars like this because they're bubbly. That clear's looking really good on there. Now this is a new kind of clear that supposedly hopefully we won't have to buff the car. That's what we're counting on, but more than likely, with our luck, we'll have to buff it. Sorry about the quality of the picture. I am shooting through glass. Dirty glass at that. Now you can see why it has the glove on. Those are the tail light covers, and that's the license plate light cover. Goes on the trunk there.
We got 3 coats of clear on the car. We went ahead and used the new style clear. Like we said, this clear is supposed to be for extreme type situations. I did notice by using the other clear, it goes on super thick and it takes a little longer to dry. We got a couple little runs in it. I'm sure many of the body shop girl will be able to sand those out. We're gonna have to let the car sit for about 3 or 4 days. And then we color sand and buff it and get it over to the upholstery shop.
Little Maxwell is almost complete.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.